Hello everybody, welcome back to the bee yard. So last video that I showed, I only had one box on my bee. There's the deep box on the bottom, which is the brood box, and then I had one honey box on top of it. Well, I had to add a third box because the other day I was in here real quick just doing a quick check, and this box in the middle was full of honey. So I'm going to do an extraction today. It's going to be a little bit time consuming. I'm going to try to do this as carefully as possible as to not disrupt the bees as much as possible, but also because I need to try to get it done as fast as possible. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my gloves on, which you may or may not be able to see in the video. Get my smoker over here. I'm going to put a little smoke in the front entrance just to keep them calm. Pop the top a little bit. Throw some smoke in here. All right. Now I'm gonna put the cover off to the side. I'm also taking the medium box that I put on here, and I'm gonna put that off to the side. I don't expect them to have gone up into it yet, because it's only been a couple of days. Just gonna check real quick and make sure. Yeah, there's nothing really going on upstairs yet. Just so you can see, it's still pretty empty. I'm just gonna move this off to the side. Oh, they've already propolized it. Propolis is what sticks the honey hives together. It's a product that the bees make, kind of a sealant, antibacterial type deal. Oh. All right, here we go. Make sure. Okay, I got a couple hanging out on the bottom. Nothing crazy here. So we'll set that like that so nobody gets hurt. They still have free access. Now you can see this white piece of material here. This is a queen excluder. I did not want the queen up into the top box. I'm actually going to move this, and I'm going to put it down on top of the bottom box. And this is where it's going to get tricky. I did bring my bee brush because I need to get as many bees off of the frames as possible. Come on. Come on. Okay. Set that aside. Now, this is where it's going to be a difficult task for me. Because I want to put that excluder in between the top box and the bottom box. So I got to pull the top box off, put the excluder in, and hopefully the queen is in the bottom box. What I'm going to do actually is I'm going to replace the white box for the middle box, just real quick, so that I have area to work, and that'll give the bees some time to grow and expand as well. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay in the video. I'm using one of my new microphones. That way I don't have to shout at the phone. Come on. They've really propolized this pretty good, and it's super heavy. Like, super heavy. All right. And one last corner, just to make sure. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's freed up. Nope, definitely not. Okay. Okay, now it's free. Wow, this box is heavy. Like, major heavy. Oh my goodness. It is like crazy heavy. Hopefully I don't hurt anybody doing this. Especially the queen. That would be very bad. Very, very bad. Ooh, there's my smoker. Here's a drone. Pretty cool. Just gonna go in here. Just gonna smoke them out a little bit, try to get them to go down. I probably should do an inspection in the lower box to make sure they're not trying to making swarm cells. I've been keeping up with making sure that they had enough space, so I'm not really worried about swarming at the moment. I am gonna need to take some of this stuff off the top for this to fit properly. Sorry. I'll give it back to them so they can reuse it. Oh, look at that beautiful honey. Look at that beautiful honey. I don't know if you can see it very well in the video. I just need to scrape this down so that my excluder will fit properly. And I'm not keeping any of that. I'm going to give it right back to them, if I can get it off of my hive tool. They'll reuse it. They'll use the wax for other stuff. They'll eat the honey, feed it to the babies. Oh, if you could just see that honey. It is so fresh. So fresh. I would love to try some right now, but because I have my veil on, that's really difficult. Just slide it down on the sides here. Go. Man, that is super fresh. Oops, I covered a bee in honey. It's alright, her sisters will clean her up. She'll be okay. One last spot. Alright, that's the last little bit that I needed to remove. Oops. Alright, slide this on here. Now, the excluder does not prevent the bees from going up into the box. It only prevents the queen from getting up there. These tiny little holes make it so that her body, which is too fat, won't fit. It keeps her from laying eggs in my honey. Alright, so now we're going to put this box on and not squish anybody, hopefully. Keep that like that. Perfect. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause my video and I'm going to do a transfer so that you guys can see where I'm working. Okay, this is going to be the workspace. Hopefully you guys will be able to see everything that's going on, or as best as I can. I'll show a lot of the frames into the actual video itself, but what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking off as many bees as possible, and I'm transferring. Oh my goodness, oh, these bees. I'm going to be putting the bees in back into the big box. Whoa, that's not gonna work. Wow, this is super heavy. And my supports are not sturdy enough. I'm gonna end up dropping it. I don't want to do that. So, crap. Okay, I'm gonna have to transfer back to the box then. Ugh. Whew. Man, that is heavy. Like crazy heavy. That is insanely heavy. Okay, I transferred my box back to the actual hive because it is way too heavy for the supports that I was going to put underneath it. It just was not going to hold. I do need to make sure that my secondary support with my other box I'm transferring these frames to is actually going to stay strong enough. So I'll be back momentarily. What you can't see because I'm off camera is I separated a box to the side over here so that I can transfer the honey back and forth without the bees really knowing where it is. I don't want any bees on the honey frames, so to prevent them, if I remove the frames as much as possible, then I will be able to collect the honey and they won't be able to interfere, or they won't get into the honey as much. I want to prevent as much bee loss as possible and maximize my honey collection as much as possible. My supports fell apart over here, so it's gonna give me a minute. Kind of got to put this back together real quick. Make sure this is set up properly because I did not expect that to be that heavy. All right, that should do me pretty good, I hope. All right, that's better. That should do a lot better. Okay, so now back to the bees. I'm gonna have to do this frame by frame. And like I said, it's gonna be a little bit time consuming because I'm literally taking all 10 of these frames out. The smoke is just to deter the bees, make them go down. I have my hive tool here that now has honey on it. So that's going to attract the bees. We'll just start with the first frame. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take a bee brush and I'm going to brush the bees off of this frame once I get it out. Oh, wow. So I might actually just leave this one. It's not quite capped over, but you can see how it's got open cells on this side. There's a couple capped on the end, but this side is pretty much fully capped. This one's not quite ready. I'm gonna leave this in here just because I don't need to take it right now. There's enough for me to take throughout the rest of the hive here. Check my video, make sure. Just checking my video, making sure it's still working. Oh, a drone. Hey, get off. All right, second frame. This is crazy. Once you guys see this, this is nuts. All right, this is pretty much ready to go. There's not much on this side, but this side is completely full. And that honey is good enough to harvest. So I'm going to shake off as many bees as I can. And then I'm going to take my bee brush and I'm going to brush off the rest of them. Because like I said, I don't want any bees in my honey. So the brush doesn't bother them. It's a soft bristle brush. It's just to scrape them down. And they're falling right off, as you can see. Here, I'll show you over here. See, they're falling right off. A little bit of pressure just takes them out. And I was actually surprised that they have made this much honey already this season. I wasn't expecting much of anything, to be honest. All right, come on. Woo. All right, I think I got almost all of them off. Couple of stragglers. This is insane. This is an insane amount of honey. I'm actually really excited for it. All right, let's move out of here. I'll be right back. Get off. Like I said, I'm moving this to a different location so that hopefully they won't know where I'm going with it. And I'm going to replace each frame I take out with an empty frame so they have more space to build. And what I'll do is I'll put that middle, the full frame back towards the middle. But right now I need to give myself some space to work here. We're getting a little tense here, which is just normal. I mean, I'm going in and I'm wrecking their home, so. Oh my goodness. Look at that. So this is interesting. Some of the hive that they built was connected to two different frames. See how it ripped there in the corner? You see how it ripped? They had it connected to two separate frames. Smoke these out of here. Kind of help get rid of them. Oh no. I left my bee brush somewhere else. Okay, let's get these off of here so we can make the second frame transfer. Just do this really quickly. And flinging them down doesn't really hurt them. I mean, they're pretty light. It might stun them for a second. The smoke, really all that does is it blocks their pheromone receptors. So it kind of like confuses them a little bit. Helps to keep them somewhat calm. Because they don't really know what's going on. All right, get off. As you can see, there was a lot more bees on this frame than on the previous frame. And I want to get off as many bees as possible. I don't want any bees left on this frame. Oopsies. I'm not going to be doing a real inspection today. This is just a simple extraction. So I'm not going to be showing the queen. I'm not going into the bottom box at all. Come on. I have a couple of stragglers I can't get out. Ooh, sorry about that. Well, man, this frame is heavy. Ugh, I don't want to crush any of the honey either. Oh, they're hiding behind the honey. Oh well, this one's just gonna have to go in this way. I'm blowing off the bees if you didn't notice. Grab the second frame so I have a little space. I gotta be careful I don't step on anybody on the ground, because some of them have fallen. And I don't really want to injure anybody, because that does tend to upset the hive. They'll send off a pheromone that says, hey, we've got an intruder. Like I said, I'm trying to do this as fast as possible. Oh, my honey tipped over. So this is honeycomb. Straight off. This is perfectly golden honey. And I would actually try some right now, but like I said, I have the veil on, so that makes it a little difficult. So that you can see it. It's beautiful. Set that aside. All right, next frame. Now the reason I'm brushing them into the box is so that they don't lose the scent of their queen or the rest of the bees. Trying to keep them at home, keep them a little bit calmer. Just, you know, if somebody was wrecking my home, I wouldn't want to have to leave it. That, and if any of these bees do have honey on them, it makes it sticky. They won't be able to fly very well, so it'll help with other bees being able to clean them off and they won't die. Okay, ooh. That frame was a lot easier to get the bees off of. -1. Who doesn't want to leave? Okay. That's frame number 3. There you go, buddy. All right, I'm gonna have to do some work and getting some of these bees out of here after, but for now they're gonna stay as is. I'm using the hive that I made as the storage box. All right, we're gonna stick this empty frame in here just because I'm running out of space to store stuff. Get my smoker again. Wow, that is beautiful. Fully capped over on both sides. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So shaking the bees like that doesn't hurt them. It just loosens up their grip, so they tend to fall. Just like using the bee brush, only I'm able to get more off at one time usually. Now, this box was completely empty less than 3 weeks ago. So that means that the honey flow is super great this year. Last year, I only got 1.5 quarts. This year, this is the first harvest. It's only just about the end of June. We're on June 28th right now. So I'm looking to be able to collect at least once, maybe 2 more times this year. We'll expound my honey production exponentially. I'm also going to be picking up, hopefully soon, another hive from a friend of mine. He contacted me the other day about it, said that it was almost ready to go. So that'll also help to increase my bee production and my honey production, which I'm really looking forward to. So I'm running around here. Jeez. There. Alright, I think I got all the rest of the bees off that other frame that I was struggling with. Now that it's actually in the box here. Cover that back up. Bring these over here. I know I'm doing a lot of back and forth. Kind of just the way it has to go today. Just because of the way that I'm doing this. All right, excuse me. All right. Make sure we're still recording here. On to the next frame. Ugh. Jeez. That is another full frame of honey. Both sides. So while I'm doing this, for anybody who's never watched a bee video before, the queen does not control the hive. The queen's only job is to lay eggs. She determines whether or not they're going to be workers or if they're going to be drones. The workers are all females. The drones are male eggs that are not fertilized, and the males only make up 10% of the entire colony. Their only job is to eat food and to procreate, but the queen will not mate with a drone from her colony. Usually what will happen is the queen will live for 3 to 4 years. In that time, she will lay eggs the entire time. And she can lay up to 1,500 eggs a day, as long as everything is going well. That's a lot of eggs. Like a crazy amount of eggs. And then at the end of the season, when the bees are getting ready for winter, they will actually kick the males out of the hive, because they only eat food and they need to keep that food for winter to make sure that they can survive through the winter. And then the next season, the queen will start laying more drones. It's a vicious cycle. Unfortunately for the guys, they don't get to live too long and experience an entire winter. But I mean, they get to eat food for free, and well, yeah, help create more babies. That's pretty much their only job. I'm sure you can probably hear the bees every time that I blast them with the smoke. Like I said, it doesn't actually hurt them. It just screws up their pheromone receptors, so they get kind of confused as to what's going on. Helps making them a little bit easier to work with. They don't like the smoke, so they run away from it. They also don't like human breath. Has the same effect. And this is another full frame of honey. Wow. This is fantastic. Yeah, because of the issues I ran into last year with the way they were building the colony, I only got 1.5 quarts of honey the entire season, because they were working so hard to repair everything constantly. Oops, I think I got one stuck in my brush. There. But this year, they've done super great. Also, the weather's been fairly nice. Fairly nice. It's been extremely warm. Compared to last year, it was super rainy. This year, we haven't had anywhere near as much rain. So it's helping the plants to grow, which creates nectar and pollen for the bees to be able to collect. And then they produce honey from it. All right, get off. Make sure I got them all off. Okay. I don't know how well you can see in the video, but I'm sure there's a bunch of bees flying around. It's all right. I've got my suit on, so they're not going to bother me. They can't sting me through it. I'm finding more stragglers in my box here, though, which I didn't want to find. Oh, no. And come on. No, I want you out. There you go. Out. Oh, I want you out too. She's running away from me. There you go. No bees in the honey box. All right, I got a couple more left to go. Keep kicking over my smoker here. All right. So on one side of this next frame, it's pretty empty, but on the other side, it's pretty full. So that's pretty full. Looks like it's just about ready to harvest. I think I'm going to leave it because this other side is just about empty. So we'll leave that in here just like that. I did break another piece of honeycomb off, so I'm going to have to collect that. Try not to squish anybody. Set that aside. They can chew on it for a little while it's still here. All right, we're going to check out the next frame. That one's not quite ready yet, so we're going to leave that one too. And then the next one looks like it's not quite ready yet either. Just pull it out and check real quick. Yeah, not quite. They haven't fully capped it over yet, plus they still have a little bit to do, so we're going to leave that one alone. Oops. Alright, so we'll put those there. I got two on the outside here. I got two on the outside here. These are brand new frames. They've never been used. Let's see. Maybe one more each side. 3, 6, 9.